My boyfriend and I are planning to get married in May. Obviously, things are crazy right now, and it feels hard to know what to rely on. It's felt really stressful on our relationship. He also hasn't proposed to me yet because he wants things to be ideal, and we don't know when things will clear up with the quarantine. He is a self proclaimed perfectionist and wants it to be really special. Nothing feels real, and it definitely doesn't feel like we're going to be married in less than 2 months. I want to be excited during this time, but I'm not sure if we should come up with a backup plan or just write it out and wait to change wedding plans. I want us to be stronger as a couple during this time, and maybe this is exactly what we need, but it feels really difficult for us. Okay, good. So your brain's telling you this feels challenging, and it shouldn't. It absolutely should feel challenging. There's you, especially when it comes to planning your wedding. Think about we have so many preconceived ideas about what that time period should be like. Where let me just tell you from my experience, it probably would have been different than you anticipated, even if we weren't going through this. My engagement, I was like, oh, that time was so many things to plan and stress, and it wasn't what you would see in the movies. But here, when you have this idea of what it should be like, and now your brain's telling you, I don't even know if we're getting married or not during this time period, it's just adding to your feeling of being out of control. So what I would really suggest in this time is, yeah, if you want to be closer to your boyfriend right now going through this, then the answer isn't in changing him. It's not getting him to propose. It's not getting him to not be a perfectionist. It's really getting to a place of he's got to deal with this in the exact way he deals with it. And now what? Now, how do I want to feel about it? Now, if you want to feel closer, that means allowing yourself to feel some of those insecurities and the unknowns and letting it be really uncomfortable and loving you through that. And that's going to make it easier to love and connect with him through this. So like we were just talking about, we kind of want a villain right now to justify why we all feel like a victim, but we don't want to, that really doesn't solve anything because changing him in any of this isn't going to really take away all of the emotions you're feeling. So at the end of the day, you're just all of us. We just want to feel something. We want to avoid the negative emotion and we want to seek the positive emotion. So in this situation, when you know, like my mind tells me that if he proposed and things were on plan and we knew what was going to happen at this time, that I would get to feel what? There's something there that you're wanting to feel. And instead, I'm feeling this. But the crazy thing is, it's not all of these circumstances that are causing you to feel whatever it is you're feeling right now, unsettled, and to feel like things are crazy. It's your thought that they are different than they should be. So it's always our expectation versus reality where all of our pain lives. So instead, what I would suggest, just to kind of simplify all this for you, is I would ask yourself, okay, just kind of pose to your brain a whole new question, which is, this is a really great chance for us to connect. And I bet there's lots of ways we can through this. Now, not that we should connect, because you have to be open to, I'm going to have some moments where I think it's him and I'm frustrated with him. There's going to be some moments where I'm freaked out, and there's going to be some moments when I'm fine. And that's exactly where you should be right now. But at the end of the day, I want you to just keep saying, of course, we figure this out. So one little way I like to do that is think about where you're going to be 5 years from now. You guys will be married. All of this you're going to look back on as a crazy, interesting story that you're going to have to tell people, which would be kind of fun to be able to tell them this interesting story. So when we know for sure that's going to happen and just choose to believe that's going to happen, I'll tell you why in a minute, but there's no downside to just believing that's going to happen. Then when you know that, tell me now how that scenario affects you. Because if we know for sure it's going to happen, then all of this it's annoying and it's a little bit fearful, but it's not nearly as intense as thinking, what if it all blows up? So that's what's going to help you be the person you want to be through this and allow yourself to figure out how you can connect with your boyfriend through this time. And this is a really good way to learn even before your marriage or even before you're married that he is always going to be him and he's going to be different from you. And that is a huge asset that we're both different. So we don't need him to be like you for you to feel better. You just have to figure out, how do I feel better without him being different? And that means sometimes I will, and sometimes right now I'm going to freak out and be nervous. And then sometimes I'm going to be able to believe that it's going to be fine. Just allow for all of that. So that's kind of the overall theme of today, you guys, is just meet yourself where you are. Allow what's happening, but also let's all practice that story. Of course, we get through this. There's no downside to believing this. if all of a sudden the world blows up and nobody gets through this in 3 years from now, we're not going to look back and wish that we'd worried more. And when we worry, we shut down. That's when we start going into scarcity. That's when we start hoarding all the toilet paper and all these other things, right? That's what fear causes us to do. And all of a sudden, everybody's in this place of no one's spending, no one's doing anything. And that's actually what is causing problems in the economy. It's not, we're our own making at this point, which is kind of fascinating. So if we just know for sure this is going to work out, then we take action from confidence. Doesn't mean we're careless. It doesn't mean we just act like we did 2 weeks ago. It's good. This is a really good time to reassess some things. But when we're taking action from that belief that, of course, we figure this all out, it's going to be a lot more productive results for you.